Henchman story. This is issue 9, I believe? 10? Somewhere around that area? Anyways, let us continue from where we last left off. Get.
You know, with all this talk about door 1385, I'm getting a little nostalgic. You remember the conversation we had there this week? It was a simpler time.
It sure was, wasn't it? We were talking about what shows we were watching, right?
Yeah, you mentioned you'd seen the Captain Commodore special.
You mean Captain Commander?
It's one of the captains.
Dude, who the hell even knows?
Yeah, it went just like that. Then you talked about what you like to watch, which was... Oh, of course, historical what's-its. You know, the things you watch to escape.
Emotionally escaped, you mean? No prison cells, handcuffs, or radiators were involved, to be clear.
Right, that was it. You know, after how Operation Day went, I think I almost got what you meant. My emotions weren't feeling so great after Shining Nova beat them up. Or my ribs. So I thought, well, if this works for a reliable veteran guy like my buddy Stan, maybe it'll work for me. And I tried watching one of those shows where they wear fancy clothes and talk all funny. But I've got to say, I had a hard time understanding any of it. Am I doing something wrong?
Everybody has a different escape, that's obvious.
Not really. Everyone just has a different kind of escape. Historical dramas work for me, but maybe you'd be more into fantasy or science fiction. Or something else entirely. But hey, kudos to you for giving it a go. It's cool that you're willing to try something new.
Thanks, buddy. Guess I'll just keep looking until I find my very own keys to my emotional handcuffs. It's good to let them leave the radiator every now and then, you know?
That is still way too specific.
I honestly wonder if he actually... Nope, no. We're not even going to talk about that, Silver. Get that out of your head.
Anyway, it's been nice reminiscing, but why don't we catch up more at lunch, okay? See you then.
Whoa, just where do you think you're going, mister? We talked about this. You have to wait here. It's protocol. And protocol is protocol.
So you've mentioned.
And I get it, man. But I really
I
need to
think
go.
we're going to still
So
fight.
what do you say? Will you let me pass?
Ow!
I'm asking you as my supervisor. And more than that, as my best buddy. Help me out here.
Stan, I want to believe that. But you know, I'm not so sure that we are.
To be fair, I did try to threaten you with a dog toy, so I had this coming.
Sure, when we were talking about the good time we had on Tuesday, that made sense. But that's just one thing. Overall, you haven't been very respectful lately, in my opinion. Or very nice, so when you say you're my best buddy, it makes me think that you're just trying to butter my bread.
I wonder how the conversation would go if you... You know what? I might try to do a specific hero, what I think would be the canonical timeline. Eventually.
Don't you mean butter you up?
See? That's exactly what I'm talking about. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean, but you're always trying to tie my words into a knot and toss them back at me. It's disrespectful.
It's not disrespect. Well, I can see how it can be disrespectful.
So you know what? No, I don't think you can leave. You're staying right here until I say you can go, because I'm your supervisor and you will respect me.
I already told you that I can't stay, Dave. I'm leaving, one way or another. It doesn't matter if you're my supervisor or not.
Oh, it matters, Stan. It matters more than anything.
Of course you think that. I've been patient with you, Dave. Real patient. Like a monk in purple spandex while you strut around with that big grin on your face, reminding me how you're in charge. Like your job title makes you so special. But it doesn't. When some Cape demigod crashes our little heists, you and I are identical to them. Whatever rank Bedlam may plaster on your ID, you're not above me. Not really. So when I say that I'm leaving, I don't think you can actually stop me. But you're free to try.
Angry face. Angry face. Angry
How
face!
dare you? You will refer to him as Lord Bedlam, Henchman 065. Just surrender to the will of Lord Bedlam 065 and I'll only have your pay docked for a month. Don't make it worse for yourself.
Worse how? Would I have to spend even more time listening to stories about great-grandpappy Dean Dave Duke or the rest of your dumbass family?
It's great-grandpappy Dean Dave Dwaynesenberg and he was a saint!
I feel like he would have a temper problem. And he quells it by being the nicest guy around.
For Lord Bedlam!
Paint left, but attack right.
Don't forget to put that ass kicking on your report, buddy.
I almost feel bad. He didn't leave me many options. I mean, in that situation, you either fight or flee, hope and pray that you could outrun him. I'm walking a dangerous tightrope here. Letting Nova go like that? If I just let him stop me, I'll be under immediate suspicion. Maybe this way I could shift some blame on him. Wow, gosh, Madam Scorpion. I definitely would have caught up if Dave hadn't stopped me. I'm so loyal to the cause that I even fought him to keep up the pursuit. Need to work on that? No shit. You don't say. Well, gosh. But Madam Scorpion's go. I mean, assuming we fought in view of the camera, she's gonna. Assuming they have audio and video for both the cameras, she's gonna see and hear everything of that little scuffle. And your little white lie of you going after an intruder is more than enough. I'll check that on my phone. Yoink. Some guy named Hazard. Or calls himself Hazard. It's been a while since last time I played Minecraft. I don't think that would be stream worthy. I mean, it's like, what, 10 years old? I mean, not to say that people aren't still making Minecraft videos and stuff, but what more could I add? I'm not exactly particularly imaginative or very creative. Oh wait, I think this is a new line. Well, so much for that. Crap. What am I going to do? I don't want to fight her, but I can't just let her go, can I? I can. I have to at least make a show of it. Crap, crap, crap. Madam Scorpion and Shining Nova.
Ah, there it is. That's the look I was hoping for. Such a selfish girl, hiding that behind flimsy masks and gaudy helmets. I could feel it last night, you know, even as you so futilely tried to subdue it. But resolve like that, it has a heat to it that can't be contained. I can't wait to watch it flicker and die.
Oh, I can't wait to blast that smug little smirk clean off your face. So I guess that makes us even.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Whether or not you're adorned in your full armored ensemble, we're hardly even. Ah, Stanley. There you are. Such perfect timing. It does make me wonder. What has you wandering the halls at this early hour? You don't strike me as one who rises with the sun. Why, have we caught you in the midst of a morning tryst? With whom, I wonder?
Well,
Oh, don't be so bashful. You must share the details, I insist. But first, be a dear and restrain this impostor. It would be fitting, I think, for you of all people to be the one to capture Shining Nova.
He's not going to do that.
He isn't.
I'm not?
That's a new line.
No, you don't have to. Still mean what I said, Stan. It's not too late. You can still change your mind. You're not just some extension of her will, or Lord Bedlam's, or anyone else's. You're not just henchman number 065, you're Stan. Your own person, with your own choices.
Then why are you trying to choose for him yourself? Kate here is just trying to manipulate you, as she has this whole time. Stanley, listen to me. I've been very impressed with you, you know. You have potential, but when opportunity exposes its throat to you, you must learn to drive a dagger through it. Do not concern yourself with the fate of this charlatan or anyone else. Our ambition is what matters. That's the game of power. And make no mistake, it is zero-sum. Regardless of what these self-proclaimed heroes may tell you, for us to win, others must lose, starting with her. Show me you understand that, and we can realize our ambitions together.
These are new lines
Go
I've
on,
never heard.
Stanley. Do it.
Stan, don't.
This is it. Whatever I do next, I have a feeling there's no going back. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You're not giving me any choice.
I know. And for the record, I'm sorry too.
I inch forward, pulling out a pair of restraints from my belt. Nova doesn't move. She barely even acknowledges me, keeping her eyes on Scorpion. It's smart. Maybe the only smart play she can make. If she turns her attention to me, that gives Scorpion an opening. She has to wait until the last possible second when she can use me as a shield. I go nervously as I get closer. Would Scorpion just cut right through me to get to Nova if it came to it? Probably. No, can't dwell on that. It's what Nova's counting on. Man, this sucks. I pause just outside of arm's reach. How do I do this? Quickly to catch her off guard, or slowly to keep things calm? Slowly, then quickly. Slowly, I start to reach out for one of her wrists as if I'm about to prevent her to lower her weapon. But halfway there, I suddenly speed things up.
Easy, easy. Gotcha!
I did not, in fact, have her. I groan as I gingerly pick myself up off the ground, clenching my side and gasping for breath. Damn, she's got sharp friggin' elbows. And she's quick too. I could have tried that 100 times and probably get laid out 99 of them. Unfortunately for Nova, I wasn't the one that she had to worry about. Nova's weapon lies in smoldering bits in the hallway. The cannon sliced clean by Scorpion's blade, which is now a hair's breadth away from the shorter woman's throat.
What's wrong? Lose your nerve?
Hardly. I already told you. I'm going to break that relentless spirit of yours first. I want to see it shatter.
And now several other henchmen finally join us in the halls. Way? But Scorpion barely acknowledges them.
Now, finish what you started, Stanley. Then hand her over.
Sure. On it, ma'am.
I grimace as I pick up the restraints I dropped earlier, and then slowly walked over to Nova. She doesn't seem like she's gonna hit me. In fact, she even holds out her hands.
I meant it, you know. I'm really...
Don't say it. Once I can handle, but any more empty apologies and I'll kick your ass again. I don't care if she kills me afterwards. That word doesn't mean a thing.
With Nova secured, Scorpion deactivates her weapons. Meanwhile, the other henchmen begin the process of removing Nova's equipment belt and patting her down for any hidden weapons. Hopefully she doesn't have a hold me beacon or whatever.
People like you never win in the end, you know.
Oh, my dear, stubborn little friend. People like me are the only ones who win. Now, gentlemen, would you show our guests to our new room in the cell block? One with a view, if you don't mind.
At Scorpion's behest, the other henchmen start to guide the captured superhero down the hallway with a light shove. Despite their prodding, Nova's posture is straight and her eyes forward, never once looking back.
Come then, Stanley. Let's follow along, shall we? I fear that she may try something foolish without some distant supervision.
Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, yes, ma'am. You got it.
I match Scorpion's pace as we trail far behind the makeshift prisoner convoy. I'm glad for the distance, but my eyes still drift to the floor all the same. Never had to do anything like this. Not with a coworker, especially not one who I was friendly with. Things are changing fast around here. Can I keep up with it? Do I want to?
Eyes up, Stanley. There's nothing to mope about.
Sorry, ma'am. Just a long night. And a longer morning.
I know. I was there for both, remember? Yet, despite it all, you did your job well back there. Don't let that self-righteous little imp guilt you into thinking otherwise. Superheroes are always such sore losers. You're making a mistake. What you're doing is wrong. You're a monster. Ugh. Excuses, nothing more. Like a child who insists that anyone who beats them at a game is cheating. They can't accept it.
Dude, I was okay with my parents beating me in a game. Hell, my dad and I, when I was started to get into chess, my dad kicked my butt left, right, and center. But I never once called him out for cheating. Because he never did. I knew the rules and whatnot, so I knew most of the legal stuff. It's just basically expecting your opponent's moves.
I guess not. And, thanks. I did my best.
I know, Stanley.
We walk the rest of the way in silence. Aside from the occasional order that Scorpion barks to the passing henchman, our convoy has grown in size. Even without us there, it seems unlikely that Nova could escape. Well, she is still a superhero, and you stated earlier that about maybe 3% of the henchmen here train. Yes, there are the numbers, and she doesn't have a weapon, but she can easily grab one of the batons, etc. Fudge. Now I want to kind of see how that would go, but with Scorpion here, probably would end well for her. Still, Scorpion takes no chances. Leg. We follow until the henchman finally leads Nova downstairs. That leads to our cell blocks. We have cell blocks? I guess that makes sense. I catch one last glimpse of her glaring over her shoulder as she makes the final turn. I furrow my brow and sigh. I want her to make it. I did, but this was the deal. I gave her a shot to escape, and it didn't work out. So I did what I had to do. What? Do I feel a little guilty still? Sure, of course. Sincerely, I'm hoping that she can escape on her own, but at the same time, I can't risk my neck to help her, can I? I was Scorpion breathing down my head.
How secure are those cells, in your opinion?
For a normal person, as secure as it gets. Even if she got her door open, there's only one way in or out, provided she didn't sneak in a mining drill. This is the center of the lair, so the walls down there are solid rock.
Good. Then let's leave the details to the guards and move this to my office. We have much to discuss.
Seizing opportunities. Achievement unlocked. Right hand stand. It's not far from the cell block to Madame Scorpion's office, which, based on her prior threats, isn't confidential, and I managed to keep my mouth shut the whole way there. When a supervillain says there's much to discuss, that means they have a lot to say. And you have a lot to listen to. Especially if they just imprison one of your coworkers.
You look tense, Stanley. Relax. Take a seat. Make yourself a drink. I'm sure I have something to your taste.
I shake my head politely, not quite ready to let my guard down.
I'm fine, but thanks.
Oh, come now. You deserve to treat yourself a little, don't you think? After all, you've just had your heart broken, haven't you? Oh, poor Stanley. I bet you thought that call was a romantic confession, didn't you?
How do you know she called me?
Check your contact list. Scroll down to M.
I grimace, knowing what I'm going to find even before I pull out my phone. Yep, somehow she added herself to my contacts without even touching my phone. If she did that, then she could check my call history too. Yeah, that's not much to put together.
That's how. Now, are you certain you don't want that drink? But I won't pressure you. Though not many people refuse that offer when I make it, especially in my office. Your boss didn't, certainly. He guzzled as much scotch as he could once he heard the price.
Well, I'm not Lord Bedlam.
And thank goodness for that.
Whee!
Yeah, Wait, what?
Your boss is an incompetent buffoon, Stanley. You know that. Is it really so surprising that I'd acknowledge it?
Just savoring the flattery.
Nah, I'm just savoring the compliment, honestly. You may not be a sucker for flattery, but I sure am. Just keep that coming and I'll be down for whatever it is you're planning.
That's all it takes for someone to wrap you around their finger, is it? A few honeyed words and a pat on the head. I'll keep that in mind.
Yep, you just... Oh no. This stands the weaknesses. Honey. Oh, you can attract more flies with honey than vinegar.
But what is it that you think I'm planning exactly? I assume that Kate told you as much as she could discover.
Just that it had to do with your powers. Cerebral superprocessing, she called it. She said all that data we stole is being used with that big computer to enhance it or something. I don't know. She didn't have specifics. Is that close?
I cope as the supervillain considers me for a long moment. Like she can see right into my brain.
Yes, that's all correct. Broadly speaking, not the worst name I've heard for it either. That little gremlin is astute. I'll grant her that. But it's not the whole picture. The truth is that machine is one of many. I'm building a global network. One that I can connect to at any time and fill to the brim with personal data. It's nearly complete. And once it is, it would be more apt to call my abilities something like precognitive analytics.
Precognitive as in, like, predicting the future? You're serious?
In a narrow capacity. I won't predict all things at all times. That's the path to madness. Let's say a specific market trend, or a handful of people in a combat situation.
Holy shit, no wonder Shiny Nova went such links to find out about this. She's already a global player, but with that, she'd be completely unstoppable. But why?
You're wondering why I'm telling you this. Care to guess?
Uh, Clearly I have seduced you?
Clearly, I've seduced you, and now you can't help but tell me all your plans, right?
You think you're the one seducing me, do you? I must be even better than I thought. But no, that's not it. Matters of attraction and strategy don't mix. They can certainly run parallel, even involve the same variables, but one does not inform the other. I'm telling you because I need someone on the ground who can protect my investment, not just a local rendezvous. All of my other regional uplinks have a lieutenant tasked with keeping it secret and defending it from harm. I spent the last several months handpicking them. You're the last piece, Stanley. Normally, I'd bring in a suitable candidate through the app. However, you met all my criteria, and you've now proven yourself loyal. You're the man for the job.
I take it you mean loyal to you, and not Lord Bedlam.
Correct. Like all the other supervillains I've chosen, he knows nothing of my true purpose. He is too blinded by greed and delusions of grandeur.
That much I can agree with.
You are beholden to me and no other, and everything I tell you shall be strictly need to know. This entire operation is compartmentalized. You'll never know of the other locations or who guards them.
Of course, that makes sense.
And if the time comes where I need to cut off a limb, you shall be the one to swing the axe.
So, this means I'm getting a raise, right?
A little bit more than just that.
Oh, more than that, Stanley.
Beep.
Far, far more.
Double eep.
All pending your acceptance, of course. That, and one final test of your mettle.
Really? One more? Even after today?
Yep.
One more especially because of today. You see, now that she's been rooted out, I need to have a little chat with our mutual acquaintance in the cell block. And I want you by my side for it. But that's for later. For now, you're free to leave. I'm sure you have much to process.
Yep.
And I'm sure that imbecile will come barging in here any moment and blather and bluster like he owns the place.
But he does, doesn't he?
No.
Oh, Stanley. Do
Yeah.
you think all these supervillains pay for their lairs up front? They take out a mortgage like anyone else. And I'm the one who lends it to them.
So there was a joke earlier. If she had like liquidation sales and stuff, or like an app for like liquidation sales and stuff. But seriously, this lady is scary.
Now run along. And don't worry. I'll find you when I need you.
As I exit Madam Scorpion's office, my body switches to autopilot to instinct, walking in the direction of my corridors as even as my mind drifts into the clouds. Scorpion was right. Her offer is far more than a raise or even a promotion. It's like a new career entirely. One that is far more exclusive and profitable. But what about the job I got right now? What about what would Lord Bedlam do if
Ah, there he is, Scott, the man of the hour.
I look up to find that I have nearly bumped right into Lord Bedlam himself. Hastily, I step back and offer a sloppy salute.
Sorry, Lord Bedlam, sir. I mean, thank you, I think? Which hour am I the man of?
Ha! Which hour, he asks. Oh, good old Seth, always such a card. Don't you think so, Daryl?
Yes, sir. Like a draw 4 card in solitaire.
Oh, he is not happy. I feel myself wince as Dave steps out from behind Lord Bedlam's cape. He just looks thrilled to see me. Let me tell ya, someone's definitely gonna hold a grudge. You're first.
Yes, exactly. Just when we needed a handful of new cards, there was Sergio, ready to provide them. The point is, you did fine work today, number 065. We're all quite proud of you, even our esteemed guest.
Oh, Madam Scorpion? Yeah, she was just talking to me about it in her office, actually.
Surprise and
What? She was speaking to you about... I mean, you had a meeting in her private office? But this isn't the first time, is it? No, she's mentioned you before. Did she discuss anything else? Or anyone? You know, by chance.
suddenly Lord Bedlam has stepped uncomfortably close, and I find myself leaning backwards to gain some distance.
Yeah, a few people. Why? Was there anything specific you were wondering?
Specific? Oh, no, no. Nothing in particular. Just simple curiosity. But if I were to ask for specifics, you would be obligated to tell me, of course. You are my employee. Not that the madam will tell you anything she hasn't already told me.
Oh, she's not gonna tell you everything, Lord Bedlam. In fact, you're the one that's in the dark. Ugh, those cookies are not agreeing with me right now. He reaches out and puts a firm hand on my shoulder. I go rigid as his grip tightens.
But I can see why you would hesitate to answer. You've been under a lot of stress. I'd hope that she isn't putting even more pressure on you in these meetings. She isn't, is she?
No, not really.
Good, good. It just wouldn't be fair to you, especially after such a triumphant day. You deserve to rest, to celebrate. When was your last vacation?
Vacation? I didn't think we had paid time off here.
Oh no, not a paid vacation, of course. More like a leave of absence, or a self-care furlough. The point is, number 065, you deserve some time for you.
Well, yeah, but I'm not sure I want a vacation right now. I mean, I have bills and stuff, so...
Of course, of course. It was just an idea. The inkling of a suggestion. You make the best decision you can for you. Ah, but I should be off. The madam will be expecting me. We coordinate on all our plans, you see. True partners in business and crime, her and I, completely in simpatico. So you don't worry about whatever she discussed with you. Good old Lord Bedlam's got it covered. You just think about that vacation, and let me know if you ever change your mind. You know I have an open door policy, number 065. After all, we're family here, and family is there for each other, aren't they?
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
I know you will, Sven. Now come along, Dominic. There's work to be done.
Yes, sir!
Lord Bedlam continues down the hallway, His cape blows into me as he passes, but Dave lingers.
You should really think about that vacation, Stan. I think it'd be good for you.
Really? But you were the one who fell asleep on the job.
Grumbling to himself, Dave falls after Lord Bedlam. Somehow bumps into me as he passes, despite there being no one else in the hallway. Now that's just vindictive. Yeah, we're definitely gonna kill you first. I sigh, rub my eyes. What the hell was that? It felt like he was threatening me, but I couldn't tell if it was because he knows about Madame Scorpion's offer or if he's just jealous that she's giving me more attention. God. Oh. You. You jerks. You guys almost had me there. I am not saying that. I am not putting the Lord's name in vain. Nope. Damn it! What's gotten into this place lately? And why am I caught in the middle of it? I need time to think, to process. It's still early, so maybe I could grab a quick nap in my room before morning assembly. Are we doing that today? Man, I don't know anymore. Jesus, why am I burning up? By the time I reach my room, I am exhausted. Physically, mentally, and emotionally, the works. Not a morning. What a morning. No. What a week. With a sigh, I flop down on my bed and stare at the cold metal ceiling. Makes sense. You don't want to see rock.
I didn't sign up for this. Damn it, Kate. Why did it have to be you?
Cake turning traitor. Never expected it. And now, Scorpion expects me to help with the interrogation. And even if Kate really is really Shining Nova, to me, she's been a coworker, a friend. How much of that was a lie? No, it was real, I'm sure of it. Honestly, she was more than just a friend in some ways. At least, that's where it felt like it could be going until I drew it away. And it turns out that it's just the tip of the iceberg today. Now caught between my boss and one of the most dangerous people on the planet in a deadly game of super villain office politics. Then on top of everything, I fought my direct supervisor. I mean, I didn't exactly regret it, but yikes, man. Why me, huh? I'm only a hired hand. Before Wednesday, this was just a simple, if often painful, paycheck. Now, it's all too much. Just way too just way too freaking out much. I feel like that should be the other way around, but that's beside the point. Maybe Lord Bedlam's weird passive-aggressive suggestion of a vague vacation has some merit after all. I could just leave right now and let all these superpower people deal with their own problems. Okay. I think it actually says here at the beginning that road, there's a chapter that's basically called The Road Untaken. Uh, it would have to be more than just a vacation, though. After what Madame Scorpio revealed to me, there's no way she would just. There's no way she'll let me just take off without repercussions. I have to hide out somewhere beyond her sight. And it would it would mean leaving Shiny Nova to whatever fate Madame Scorpion has in store for her. And any chance of helping her would be gone. Still, the thought is tempting. All these tough decisions, chaotic quantities behind, just walking away.
If I do it, it would have to be now, before anyone can take notice. But I could do it.
So, I'm not gonna do the quit ending. But what I am gonna do is the next best thing. Right here will be the quit ending. But for right now,
No,
we're continuing the
that
story.
wouldn't get me anywhere. Don't be stupid. I need to see this through.
I roll over in bed and close my eyes. I just need some. Ugh. I just need to rest a little. Let my thoughts settle. Leaving would be rash. I had to go totally off grids for months or years, maybe forever. It'd be crazy. Just to recharge and try to get yourself through the day. Maybe it'll all make sense tomorrow. Even after my nap, the rest of the day crawls along at a snail's pace. Lord Bedlam calls off today's morning assembling, so I skipped breakfast and rolled into Weapon Depot late. No one seemed to notice. Dave wasn't there. And instead of taking inventory, I spent most of the morning checking my phone. No texts or calls, even when I finally broke for lunch.
How long is she gonna leave me hanging? Damn it.
I shoved my phone back into my belt. I know I'm being impatient, but come on. You can't just drop a mysterious hint about a final test and keep me in a suspense for half a day. I pat my grumbling stomach as I make my way to the cafeteria. Though I wonder if it's my hunger or my uh, inevitable protest, baloney ain't gonna cut it today. I can tell you that. There's not much of a line when I get to the cafeteria. We had late lunches on Saturday, and I've already see the pickings are slim. Oh, Antonia's gonna rub it in today. I can feel it. I clenched my jaw as I approached to the front of the line. Part of me was tempted to drop the pretense and start shouting at him to get it over with, but before I can,
Well, if it ain't Stan, it's Stan the man. As I always like to say, good afternoon to you.
da 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 da.
Good afternoon. Are you okay, Chef Antonio?
Never been better. Why would you ask? Can't you see I'm my normal, positive, and respectful self?
Those words shouldn't be coming out of your mouth in that order.
Oh, they shouldn't. Oh, my deepest apologies. Grammar ain't my strong suit. You know that, Stan, old pal.
I lean forward and squint at Antonio as hard as I can.
What in the world is happening?
Is there something on my face, too? Sorry, you know how messy these kitchens can be.
Oh, he's not wearing a hairnet. I just now noticed that.
Well, what would you like for lunch today, Stan the man?
You mean I actually have more options than bologna?
Why, of course you do. You see, I was told by Madam Scorpion herself to give you access to the secret supervillain menu.
There's a villain menu? Well, I guess that makes sense. Ah, now everything's making sense. But I'm a little surprised. I mean, I knew Scorpio talked about this being more than a race, but that lady works quick.
Today, your options are shrimp risotto, a fresh Waldorf salad, or our signature Wagyu beef burger.
I'll take the burger.
I would adore a burger, but do make sure the beef is both properly wagged and used. It just doesn't taste right if you have one but not the other.
That's not what Wagyu. I mean, no problem. We always wag and you all of our beef. Just like I learned during all those years I wasted in culinary school.
Before long, I make my way to my seat with a real actual food in hand with a smile on my face. It takes all my self-restraint to not skip and not devour it all in seconds once I'm seated.
This is surprisingly good. You mean this asshole could actually cook the whole time?
Well, yeah, you actually think he's gonna give actual, well, proper food? I imagine if like super villains and heroes actually existed, like they do in comics and stuff, and you work under a super villain, I feel like it would be something similar to what you get for like school lunches. That's just my personal mental image. While supervillains would get the creme of the creme, the best of the best. Actual cooked food. So this is what being in Madam Scorpion's good graces can get you. Won't lie, I could let myself getting used to it. The only downside of eating all that food was that it didn't leave my breath in a good spot afterwards. So now I found myself in the locker room, brushing in hand as I peer into the mirror.
What a weird day. My schedule's all out of sync. This is how it should have started, like usual. I brush my teeth, then I run into...
Dave,
Hey, Stan.
Gah! What the hell, man? Where'd you even come from?
Madam Scorpion's office. She sent me to find you. Said you were supposed to meet her there in 25 minutes. She also told me that I need to apologize for earlier.
yep, she saw and heard.
While protocol is important, it is more important to react to changing circumstances and adapt your methods, and I did not recognize it. Tell Stanley exactly that, and then ask if that apology is good enough for him. Do not leave until he accepts it. That's what she said.
You didn't have to tell me the last part, but I am half tempted. I am half tempted to do that. But I have some mercy. Oh, that's tempting. Not enough graveling. I am half tipped. Oh god. A simple decision. Do I make my the supervisor gravel, or do I just accept his apology? Oh, I think I'm gonna make him gravel. Nah.
Apology accepted, Dave. Thank you. It's big of you to admit that you were wrong.
But I was tempted. I was tempted.
Sure. No problem. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Apparently, Dave marches out of the locker room as if he's fighting the urge not to scurry away like a timid little mouse. Jesus, first Antonio, now Dave. I could really get used to this. He had to come to me to apologize. I almost can't believe it. Everything here is suddenly turning its head in the best way. And all because I've earned Madam Scorpion's favor. Ah. Does she know what happened in this Uber computer room with Shiny Nova? Is this her way of trying to wine and dine me? I mean it, there's some serious appeal. Helping Nova was never a ludicrous proposition. But if this is what I would have turned down, then maybe I was right to have second thoughts. Speaking of Nova, I really can't really need to get going. Can't be late to a meeting with Scorpion, especially after that display. I meant to get a quick shower too, but that's will have to wait.
Alright, game face.
I tried to my best to look stoic and intimidating, but my reflections stubbornness refused to comply.
It'll do.
"24 minutes later, I'm standing in front of Scorpion's office, eyes closed as I take a moment to prepare myself. Shit, this is my third time being invited here, but my nerves are still frayed. That won't ever go away, will it? There will always be a sense of danger with her. It's just a matter of whether or not I embrace it."
Ma'am, you asked to see me?
Right on time. Come in, Stanley, and get the door behind you.
Madam Scorpion is standing behind her desk when I enter. She is studying the rapid changing charts on her displays, but she turns around as the door closes, giving me her full attention.
My, don't you look reinvigorated? I take it you got my gift? That slovenly chef crumbled in record time.
I believe you! Gift or investment? Were flowers too bland?
You could have just sent flowers, you know. But then that would be a little vanilla for you, wouldn't it?
You're learning quickly. Roses and lilies have their place, but the sight of one's enemies and rivals cowering before you is what really sets the heart aflutter.
So should I expect a bouquet of my foes' severed heads for Valentine's Day? Maybe a necklace made from their ears.
Ew.
Don't be gauche, Stanley. The modern supervillain sends a crystal decanter filled with their blood.
With your blood? With the supervillain's blood? Or the blood of my enemies? That can be easily taken out of context.
Not enough repartee. We have a delicate task ahead of us, and I mustn't let myself get too excited. You either. This is your final test, after all.
Ah, right. The test. You mean the interrogation.
If you want to take the fun out of it, it's such a cold, mechanical word for something so alive, so intimate. We're going to pry open the mind of a superhero today, Stanley, by way of her heart. And you're the key. You're the thing that will make her defenses crumble and her secrets known.
How do you figure that? This seems more like your thing, so...
And that's exactly why it will work. It's a classic approach. I'll start things off, then at my signal, you'll make your grand entrance, and she'll latch right onto you. A lifeline in her most fragile moment. She'll try to appeal to your better nature, or what's right. Let her. You'll barely have to lie. She'll do most of that herself. Let her think you want to help her.
What makes you think she'll go for it?
Don't you see how she looks at you? She admires you, Stanley. In all things but matters of morality, Shining Nova is paranoid and prone to over-preparation. She no doubt has several backup plans in the event of her capture. But give her the chance, and she will choose the one that involves you. I'm certain. When she does, we will use it against her. She believes that she can turn you to her side, that she can change who you are. It will be her undoing.
And who am I really, in your opinion?
We'll find that out, won't we? This is your final test, after all.
Ugh. With a slow and graceful step, the supervillain slinks from behind her desk and steps forward towards me. I resist the urge to retreat, even as she stops, just breaths away.
Do this for me, this last little thing, and I will know your nature.
I see the abyss of those golden eyes again. They beckon me to embrace it as they inch closer.
Have you survived so long as a henchman because you're pragmatic, or because you're lazy? When the perfect opportunity lies before you, can you abandon your mercy and seize it?
Quicker than I can react, Scorpion reaches out and places my chin between her thumb and forefinger.
Answer that for me, Stanley. I have my hypothesis, but I must know it absolutely.
Kinda. You're distracting.
Kinda. You're just a little distracting right now. But that's on purpose, isn't it?
Why, whatever do you mean?
Well, your hand isn't lingering because you forgot it was there.
In answer, she gives my chin a light push, tilts it back as if examining my side of my face.
No, it's not. But how do you know I'm not just getting one last look at a lamb that's ripe for the slaughter?
She leans in just a hair, the corners of her lips twitching upwards in a twisted smile. I tense, but she knows full well that I don't. But though the abyss threatens to swallow me whole, it calls all the same.
You don't look away anymore. How interesting.
With a smirk, she lets her hand fall away and walks right past me, heading for the door.
Now let's be off, shall we? No sense dawdling at the water's edge. It's time for you to sink or swim.
I offer an affirmative and move to follow. I'm suddenly reminded an old fable about a scorpion and a frog. But I quickly try to forget it. In the end, I'm pretty sure they both drown. I am pacing now, slowly walking back and forth in front of the entrance to the cell blocks, phone in hand. I'm sure I'm driving the guards nuts, but it's been a long time since Man of Scorpion entered. I glance at my phone, still nothing. Maybe the signal is bad down here. Does that even affect her? Probably, right? Even the supercomputer brain Wi-Fi has to connect somehow. Or maybe she's just enjoying herself. Hopefully not, but I need to be prepared to see the consequences of my decision. I stop pacing and turn to one of the guards.
Hey, we have cameras down there, right? Do any have microphones? You know, so I could listen in or something. Just so I know what I'm walking into.
The guard shakes his head and I shrug, masking my reaction as best I can. Good, that means if Scorpion leaves me and Nova alone, we could talk freely if we are careful. Ugh. Ugh. Just then, my phone buzzes as I see a text message with the single word now.
All right, showtime.
I take a deep breath and descend down the stairs. The cell blocks in Lord Bedlam's fortress don't give a lot of use, and it shows. Everything is coated in dust and it smells of like a long forgotten basement. Ugh, it's musty down here. I can see one figure standing tall in front of the cell, several spots down from the entrance. While I can't spot a second, I do see a small shadow peering out from it, within it. My steps echo, and the person outside of the cell turns in my direction. The shadow doesn't move.
Ah, Stanley. Now, isn't this a pleasant surprise? Come to check on our guest?
I step into view. The cell's occupant tears her gaze from the ground at her feet. Shiny Nova, or as I knew her the past few days, Kate. There are no cuts or bruises on her face, but she winces after turning my direction. Her hand moves to her side, and she leans back against the wall.
Stan, you look well.
I glance at Scorpion, trying to keep my poker face intact. It's not as bad as I feared, but still, I can't help but feel responsible for any pain Nova's going through right now.
Lord Bedlam sent me. He wanted someone in purple down here during the interrogation. To keep him informed.
Of course he did. He always does have to remind everyone whose lair this is, doesn't he? It makes you wonder who he's trying to convince. It reminds me of you, my little saboteur.
You think I'm like Lord Bedlam? That's rich.
Aren't you? You both lie to yourselves. The difference is, your lie is one of righteousness instead of ego. As an example, Stanley, would you come a little closer? I need you for a demonstration.
Oh,
Me? Oh, I'm just here to observe, so...
I wonder what happens if you were to be fairly decent or a good-natured character and ended up having to do all this. I wonder what would happen.
Scorpion, leave him alone. This is just between you and me now.
The supervillain ignores Nova's protest and waves me over. Even knowing we're on the same side, I hesitate but step forward, but leaving us just a few feet apart.
Oh no, he's very much involved. You made sure of that when you picked him as your mark. Unfortunately, you chose poorly. In the end, you saw through her deception, didn't you, Stanley?
Yeah, I guess I did.
And I was so proud of you for doing so. Yet,
I see Madame Scorpion's hand starts to fall to her hip. Nova spots it too. And despite the obvious pain, she quickly steps towards the bars.
you're still tainted by her influence.
Scorpion, stop!
Your actions can't be trusted.
Oh shit! She knows what happens. Oh shit, oh shit. I raise my hands and slowly inch backwards, my eyes fixed on the deadly weapon that's now aimed straight at my heart.
Wait, hold on. I'm not tainted, I swear. Totally untainted. Absolutely 100% taint-free.
I wish I could believe that, Stanley. I really do.
By now, Nova has rushed up to the cell bars and her movements frantic.
He's telling the truth. I can never get him to budge, I swear.
But Madam Scorpion doesn't listen. Instead, she raises her sword.
That's enough! Scorpion!
And this is how it could have ended for him.
Stanley, you were blocking a very thin line. With a casual twirl, the supervillain returns the deactivated weapon to her belt. I let out a sigh of relief. Thank goodness. I guess she doesn't know after all. Wait. She really doesn't know. So that means if I wanted to, I could.
But you didn't think about that, did you? How you were risking his friendships, his career, and even his life? Luckily, he made the right decision and rejected you. In more ways than one.
Without looking away, the woman in the cell, the supervillain, smirks, slinks right up to my side. Before I know it, one of her hands is sliding across my chest while the other snags slightly around my waist. Snakes slightly around my waist. I go completely rigid as with my heart rising in my face, with heat raising, leg, and a lump forming in my throat. This woman, does she want to murder me, seduce me, or just tie my brain into knots? At least I can take solace in the fact that Nova's flushed complexion and uncomfortable squirming means that yes, she has this effect on literally everyone.
And once he did, I dare say his prospects have already improved. Wouldn't you say so, Stanley?
There's been a few perks, I guess.
Just a few. You weren't so understated earlier.
Scorpion lifts her leg and leans in further, letting her thighs brush against mine, pressing herself up against my shoulder. Her head tilts towards mine. When she speaks, I can feel her breath dancing on my neck. I know this is all part of the mind game she's playing with Nova, but isn't this a bit a little much?
Perhaps a reenactment is in order.
Eep.
Seriously screwed up, you know that? I mean it, there's something fundamentally wrong with you.
Well, of course. It's part of my charm.
Frustrated, Nova pushes herself back from the bars, resuming her posture against the cell wall, glaring daggers at the supervillain.
Whatever. If you're going to kill me or take off the torture kitty gloves, then get on with it. But if you're just going to gloat and fillet yourself, don't waste your breath. You're not even good at it.
so defiant. Oh, we're going to have such fun together, I can tell. But that will come later. And never fear, the gloves will come off.
A slow, deliberate grace. Scorpion releases me from her clutches and pulls away. She lets her fingers draw a trail across my chest as she retreats, as if she's signing her name. Again, Nova squirms in spite of herself. I hear a low, satisfied laugh escape Scorpion's lips.
My attention is expensive, and I've spent enough on you for now. However, if you must posture for someone, I'm sure Stanley would prove to be a suitable audience, wouldn't you, Stanley?
I nod, grateful that we reached a part of her plan that I'm the only familiar with, but that doesn't involve any threats on my life.
Good. Then I'll take my leave. But do remember, I'm never really gone.
Neither Nova nor I dare to speak as Scorpion departs. Only when the echoes of her footsteps fade completely do I stop holding my breath.
Torture kitty gloves? You shouldn't tempt her like that.
Get out of here with the concern, man. You think this is the first time I've dealt with this kind of thing? I can handle it.
Dot dot dot.
When she said that she's never really gone.
My eyes flick to the camera that is looking down at her cell, but I am very careful not to turn in its direction. I shrug and step a little closer to the bars.
Video only. Lord Bedlam doesn't get much use out of the cell block, if you can believe it. So everything down here's been a little neglected.
I point at her accusingly with a frown for effect.
Now pretend I'm upset with you and turn your back to the camera.
Nova huffs and does just that. A natural actress, but I already knew that. Already. Good. Now we can talk privately. As Scorpion questions my motives, I could just say I'm getting Nova to let her guard down, which is true, I guess. No matter what I chose. And what do I choose? I give Nova a shot at getting away, but can I leave her like this? On the other hand, can I justify turning traitor, especially when my career is finally taking off? I'd be risking even more than before. Damn it.
Speaking of Lord Bedlam, he didn't send you down here, did he?
What makes you say that?
I know you better than you think. So, why are you really down here?
Scorpion.
Scorpion sent for me, of course.
Didn't expect you to admit that.
It's a little risky telling her the truth here, but maybe it'll build some trust. It would be easier to lie about. Nova sees that.
No point in hiding it. It's clear who runs the show around here. And I can't exactly refuse her.
Sure you can. You just have to show a little spine. Not a lot. Talking about a few measly vertebrae.
Only if I want them sliced in half. I mean, come on. You're not being fair. You think I wanted any of this?
And what do you want exactly? I'm not sure you really want anything. You were happy to look the other way for me. But when someone needs you to actually do something,
She scoffs and looks away, but despite her indignation, something softens.
I went out on a limb calling you like that. It was a gamble, but I really thought we understood each other. The way we talked, not just the joking around, but the important stuff too. I just really thought. I thought it was more than talk.
Of course it's all talk. You know what else is all talk? This idea that I could have done anything more for you that wouldn't have ended in my immediate freaking execution. You saw her just now. She was what, half a second away from killing me? I'm walking the razor's edge in flip-flops over here.
Nova glares at me for a moment, like she wants to offer a rebuttal, but in the end sighs and rubs her temples. She looks exhausted.
Yeah, I saw. Are you okay?
Oh, you know, just a little trauma, nothing major. I really thought she was gonna do it for a second, though.
Me too. It would have been just like her to hurt you to get to me, even after you sided with her. That coward.
Her eyes flick to me and turn her head slightly to check the camera. Then, hesitantly, she steps over to the bars, careful to keep her face out of the view of the camera.
I may be disappointed in you, but I don't want to see you hurt either, you know. I mean, maybe just a shot in the kidney or something, but nothing worse than that. Just answer me something. Tell me that you two haven't actually, you know.
Oh, no. That was just,
Scarring, that's what that was. I'm sending you my therapy bill when I get out of here, for real. That was some serious creepy exhibitionist couple energy, and I hate it.
Well, we're not a couple, so don't worry. That was just, well, you've met her.
Not that I haven't considered the possibility, but so far it has been a lot of sexual tension and threats on my life. And probably shouldn't bring up the former, even though
Christ, supervillains are so weird. But if you're not together, then I have to ask.
she twirls her hair around her finger, contempting. We both know she's about to ask, but either of us ready for that answer?
I know this is a stupid thing to ask under the circumstances, but no matter what happens, I need to know. Was there something real there? With you and I?
Oh. Well, I'm going for Scorpion, so I'm gonna do the lie one, despite me actually liking Vic.
Yeah, of course there was. Real as it gets.
Oh. Well, at least I know I didn't imagine it. I'd hate to always wonder.
And now? You asked if there was something real.
I don't know. I need time. I really did need your help, Stan.
I know. I'm sorry.
But it's not too late. I still need your help. You can still choose the person you want to be.
This is it. My final chance to make a choice. A real, actual choice on whether or not to help her. I can't defer any longer. No. No more looking the other way. It's one or the other. I step closer, right up to the front of the bar, staring right into Kate's eyes. Even in the darkness of the cells, there is a glint of hope in them, burning bright. What is it she sees in me?
I don't know. I'm not sure you found the right guy to believe in here.
Stan, you're the only guy. There's no one else I can count on or turn to. But Don't just do it for me. Do it for yourself, Stan. You don't know it now, but you're drowning. And Madame Scorpion's the one pulling you under. Think about that sword she was pointing at your heart. One day, that won't be a threat.
Nah, that's how she is. Come on, she wouldn't really kill me. She likes me.
And you think that would stop her? She's not stable, and the kind of power she's trying to wield, in her hands, it'll be a catastrophe. We're talking global, century-spanning consequences. Help me stop her, Stan. You're the only one who can.
I feel a knot form in my stomach as I stare at Kate's pleading expression. Even when she was staring down Scorpion's sword, she wasn't desperate. Only now, only in this moment. She wouldn't be looking at me like that if it was any if this was just anything but my last chance. I have to choose right now. Forever. Am I with the hero or the villain? I'm sorry, Nova. That's for another round. I take time to before answering, sign for effect. Can't respond too quickly. I need to make her think I'm really wrestling with it.
God damn it. You know what? You're right. She's crazy, and she needs to go down.
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. It's like you said, I'm the only one who can do it.
Alright, then let's do it. Thank you, Stan. You're doing the right thing. Now, pretend I said something romantic, and then turn to face me.
Without hesitation, I comply. Immediately follow her hand gripping my collar to pull me closer. As she does so, I feel a second hand move towards one of my pockets.
This beacon will let you call in reinforcements. Just go outside where you have lots of space and a good signal, then activate it. Come find me after. Promise me that.
Yeah, of course. I promise.
She let go of my collar, and I stumbled backwards, flustered.
Good luck. I'll be waiting. Not like I've got anywhere else to be.
Thanks, Kate.
You're welcome, number 065.
I turn to go, but before I get too far, my path is blocked by another figure, barreling his way down the stairs.
Is it over? Did I miss it? Ah, number 065. There you are. Just getting started, are you? Well, not to worry. I, Lord Bedlam, am a master interrogator. Yes, just a few minutes with me, and this so-called hero shall spill all she knows. Now, watch a master at work.
Actually, the interrogation's over. I was just on my way out.
What? Over? But Madame Scorpion said it didn't start until... Did I have the time wrong? Or did she?
The supervillain hesitates, scratching thoughtfully at the spot of his helmet where his chin would be.
Number 065. Did the madam say that I'd be joining you in this endeavor?
No. Not that I recall.
No, this can't be right. She wouldn't. No, of course not. I'm sure she just meant to do a follow-up interrogation. Yes, that must be it.
Sure, why not? I've got nothing but time. Hey, maybe we could even get a little cross-interrogation going?
Cross-interrogation? As in you questioning me? Lord Bedlam?
Yeah, just to explore your feelings a little. You know, things like, let's see, jealousy?
Yep, Kate knows. Kate saw right through my lie.
Jealousy? What would I, the magnificent and freshly scented Lord Bedlam have to be jealous about?
I can think of a few things.
Oh, I don't know. But you won't find out until we talk about it.
Well, I suppose not. What's the harm?
Lord Bedlam brushes past me, and Nova shoots me a wink. I guess that's my cue to go. So after giving the caged hero one last look over my shoulder, I head up the stairs. Ugh.
Did you really leave her alone with him? My, you're crueler than I imagined, Stanley.
When I exit the cell block, Madame Scorpion is waiting for me, as if she knew exactly when I would arrive.
I must say, I'm quite impressed. I knew you had it in you, but that looked like it went perfectly.
The interrogation or the part where you threatened to kill me?
Oh, don't pout. That was just a stratagem. It's basic superhero psychology. Don't threaten the hero, threaten someone they care about. And I don't really think you have cause to complain, given the nature of our other little ruse.
That one was a bit more palatable, I can admit.
But to the matter at hand, did it work? Does she trust you?
Yeah, I think so. In fact,
I pull out the beacon out of my pants pocket and hold it for the supervillain to examine.
she gave me this. Said it's some kind of beacon. All you have to do is activate it and...
Superpowered reinforcements within the hour. Interesting.
She delectably plucked the device from my hand and holds it up to light, examining it.
Interesting indeed. You've done well, Stanley.
So that means I passed the test?
With flying colors. Now you've earned a bit of rest and relaxation, don't you think? Take the rest of the day off. Maybe freshen up a little? You're looking a little disheveled.
Freshen up. Cautiously, I raise my arm, give it a sniff. It's not bad, but I guess I didn't shower this morning. Might not be a bad idea.
I'll get right on that, ma'am.
See that you do, Stanley. Now run along. I'll find you when I need you.
Still examining the beacon, Madame Scorpion strides down the hall in no particular hurry, yet full of purpose. For a moment, I just watch her leave. Exhaled sharply. I've always held my breath around her. Will that stop now that I'm one of her lieutenants? My mind returns to the feeling of her hand teasing its way across my chest as she pulls me into a provocative embrace. I shake my head. No chance. It's never going to stop. As the supervillain disappears around the corner, I head in the direction of the locker rooms. A shower does sound like a good idea. Maybe a cold one. There aren't many people using the locker room at this time of day. I take the advantage and let the water run down my body, well, after I have scrubbed myself clean. Well, physically anyways. Emotionally, that's another thing altogether. Lying to Kate like that, using her concern for my safety against her, is it going to take more than a lukewarm water to and cheap body wash to get rid of that?
Her name's not Kate. It's Shining Nova.
Yeah, that's right. She lied to you first, remember? Hell, she probably is still lying in her cell. She doesn't really care about you. It's all a show, a big performance. She took you for a sucker, and you flipped the script on her. Don't feel guilty for beating her at her own game. It's like Madame Scorpion says, that how uh, moral high ground bullshit is just an excuse. If Shiny Nova can lie, she can't complain if I lie right back. Not without being a sore loser. That's how they win. They make us think we're one set of the rules apply to us. But they get a different set entirely. That's how they get their mansions and towers, while I share a shower with 200 other dudes and dames.
Screw that. I just played the hand I was dealt, that's all.
I turn the knob on the shower and just stand there for a moment, inhaling deeply. The air in here is pungent, as ever, but I don't care. It's refreshing. No reintegration. I grab my towel and start drying off as I leave the showers. I just finished wiping my face when I reached the mirrors, and suddenly I stopped and stared at my reflection. Are you happy with your choices, Stan? I feel like it's been a while since I have looked at myself. Not in passing, but really look. I seem a little tired, but you know what? I still look good. Damn good, even. I made maybe not superhero shredded, but there's some definition there. And look at that face. Lord Bedlam would put you on the recruitment posters.
You know what, Stan? To hell with it. You are the man.
Did I forget to start my timer? Oh well, I'll go a little bit longer. Why not? I'll go an extra, let's say 15 minutes. Yeah, I am. That's all I could think as I finished drying myself off and start putting on my uniform. I am the man. From now on, I'm going to get mine. It doesn't matter who I have to blow past or go through to get it. Whether it's Antonio, Dave, Lord Bedlam, even Shiny Nova. No one directly what I can or cannot do to get there anymore.
My, aren't you looking spirited?
Well, maybe one person.
I'm not sure I've ever seen someone get dressed with such passion, especially to wear something like that.
She points to my uniform as I finish putting it on, as if this sight offends her. I shrug, suddenly feeling a lot more sheepish as she casually leans against the sink.
Oh, trust me, it's not the uniform. I was just... I don't know. I guess something's just got my adrenaline going. Sorry. What are you doing here, by the way?
Speaking to you, Stanley, what does it look like?
I don't know. Maybe we should ask an unbiased observer.
I start to gesture to my right, intent on making my point by sliding one of the locker room's other occupants. But I stop when I find no one there. I furrow my brow and look to my left, no one there either.
I'm afraid you won't find a second opinion here. I had everyone else cleared out.
Well,
I see. How'd you manage that?
I think we all know where this is going.
Stanley, please. When I want something done, it gets done.
With a little snap of her fingers, I hear the locker room door shut and lock. Guess we're all alone.
Can't believe I didn't notice. I really was in my own head there.
Oh? Lost in thought, were you?
More like feeling myself, you know? Just kinda amped up.
As you should be. You did well back there, just like we talked about. Even when you had to improvise.
Oh, is that what we're calling it? A little improv? And now here I thought she was threatening to kill me. Nevertheless, I shrug it off.
Hey, I aim to please.
Please whom, I wonder?
Yeep! Gratefully, the supervillain removes herself from the perch and starts walking across the room, stalking towards me with a slow, sinking strides.
Me?
With each step, the hair stands on the back of the neck, and my pulse quickens. I see her fingers dance around playfully on the hilt of her sword, and my foot slides back on instinct.
Or yourself?
My ankle hits something metal, and I realize that I am already standing right next to the lockers. No room to retreat, so I stand my ground.
What are you implying?
Only that you can't always serve the whims of others, Stanley. Sometimes you need to do something for you. Because you want it.
Grinning wolfishly, she takes one more decisive step in my direction and then bluntly forward. Ah! I flinch and lean back against the locker, despite myself startled by her superhuman speed. Still, I fight to maintain eye contact, even though it's like losing a battle.
Don't be bashful. We both know that's for show. Admit it. You've been hoping for a moment like this. Dreaming of it.
And you?
And how about you? What have you been dreaming of?
Why, everything, Stanley. The world itself. But you haven't answered my question. That's all right. I already know. You want me. I've seen it. Felt it. And I feel something else. A desire of my own.
She leans a hair closer, her lips part, yet she lingers at a distance, then pulls back, even more prerogative. Even now, she's toying with me.
Desire. Want. Longing. It's powerful. Like with Nova, she wants to believe you. And she wants you, too.
Ah, is that the attraction here?
I admit, it has a certain appeal. There's power in it. Taking what someone desires knowing that she's longing for you, even as I claim you.
I could tell. You were really getting into it.
Oh, don't pretend you didn't find it exhilarating. I could feel it in your pulse. But all that's merely added flavor. No, the attraction is all mine.
The muscles in her arm tense, and I hear the lockers beside me cave in under pressure of her grip, crumpling in her hand like paper.
What's wrong? You seem nervous. Isn't this what you want?
Yeah, but
Then show me. Show me that you'll fight for what you want.
I clench my jaw and my heartbeat settles. The golden eyes stare into mine, alive with purpose and peril, and I stare right back at them. My gaze no longer wavers, and I no longer hesitate. I lean forward, and I am immediately pushed back into the lockers with a pair of bloody red fingernails pressed against my chest.
No, that won't do. I need you to fight for it. I have no interest in some groveling fool who yearns only for the heel of my boot. Little disgusts me more. I need a fighter. And deep down, that's you, Stanley. So fight for it.
Okay then.
that's how it is, huh? Okay then.
Thank God for the black screen.
Whew. Holy shit. That was, intense.
Were you expecting anything less? True pleasure is a mutual release of passion. To inhibit it would spoil the fun.
Well, our uninhibited passion is very athletic and destructive. I think this uniform is toast. You really couldn't just take it off?
You weren't complaining at the time. But I'll send you a new one. I was planning on giving you an upgrade anyway.
It's okay to admit that you couldn't figure out how to undo it.
I knew how to take it off, Stanley. I simply chose a more direct approach.
Hey, there's no shame in it. There's a lot of buckles and zippers.
You struggled too, as I recall.
She finished zipping up her own catsuit as she speaks, as if to emphasize it. As for me, I'm still half naked, having long since given up on my tattered remains. That used to be my uniform. So instead, I lunge around on one of the locker rooms benches, admiring her ability to restore her immaculate supervillain aesthetic. Even after that, it's impressive.
Yeah, well, I didn't have the option to just rip through. Yours is a lot less replaceable than mine, I'm guessing.
And probably a lot tougher.
And a lot more durable. Though I do appreciate the consideration. And the honesty. In general, not just in regards to clothing. I want you to continue to be honest with me, Stanley. Like nothing's changed. No empty flattery, and certainly no prostrating yourself before me.
Yeah, you mentioned that last part before.
Because I truly cannot stand it. And yet, the number of times some simpering worm has thrown themselves at my feet, hoping that I would trample them.
Doesn't surprise me. A lot of people are into that. It's like a thing now. You gotta know. I'm sure social media trends are part of your analytics or whatever.
Well, it's not a thing for me. I'm not interested in simulating the feeling of power. I have real power already. But that shared passion, that's something only a paramour can offer.
Ooh, paramour. That's fancy sounding. Can we add that to my official job description?
I'm afraid not. This is strictly off the books. There's nothing official about it, and that extends to every definition of official, even the personal one. As I expect you to be honest, I will be in kind. We are strictly partners in business and pleasure. It is not anything more than that.
Okay, so
So, you're saying this is more of a casual
let's
thing
see.
then? Some casual villainy here, a little casual sex there?
If that helps you understand, then yes, this is strictly casual.
Does it have to be?
Does it have to be? I mean, long term.
It's a little early to be using words like long term, don't you think?
Sure, I was just throwing it out there as, a possibility, since we're being honest.
Few things are truly impossible, Stanley, but some things are highly, highly improbable.
Is that the precognitive analytics talking, or?
Just deductive reasoning. I just told you what this is. Why must you immediately question it?
Not questioning, just exploring. I like to know what doors are open, It's healthy. And, I don't know, maybe it could work?
I doubt that. I admire your boldness, but consider this possibility explored. Or need I remind you that Magellan died at sea?
No, point taken.
I raise my hands, conceding my point. Let's see. He died as an invader to take claim of something that he never belonged to him. Didn't sound like a total dismissal. Like a door is cracked just enough to fit a scalpel through. Maybe a credit card, but firm enough. Scorpion checks her appeal in her mirror, makes last adjustments. You guys get the picture.
Well, you may have time to bask in the afterglow, but I must be off. There's much to be done. After all, tomorrow is the day we spring the trap.
That sounds ominous. Who are we trapping?
You'll learn the details in the morning. For now, I suggest you get some rest. You'll need it. But do remember to try on your new uniform when I have it sent to your quarters. I have some upgrades in mind.
And with that, now let's at least get it ready for the next chapter, if it's soon. With that, Madame Scorpion strides towards the exit, and I admire her as she goes, drawing discreet to the wind when I can. Even when she stops to regard over her shoulder, she doesn't even fail to notice.
And Stanley, what you're feeling now? This new confidence? This is how your life can feel from now on. So long as you know what you want.
And fight for it, right?
Exactly.
The supervillain disappears, and I'm left alone, exhausted and with my uniform in tatters, but more alive than I've ever been. I look at my reflection again, but this time there's no moment of confusion. Yeah, you're darn right that's me. Maybe it's who I've always been. And starting tomorrow, everyone else is going to find out. Hey! The die is cast. Woo! And with that's where we're going to save it. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight. Mainly because I'm doing a D&D session, but that's beside the point. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for the long one. But I want to try to get this finished as quickly as possible. So hopefully by next session or issue, whenever we decide to do it, we shall finish the villain round. Hopefully. And that one I might just do like I did with the hero timeline. Just basically get it to the finish at the ending. So that one's probably gonna be a long one too. But until then, I'll see y'all mates next time. Goodbye!